Hello Cardiff class, welcome to our last day of our online learning before the summer holidays. Today we are thinking all about summer. In particular, we are thinking about how to have a safe summer holiday. So let's get going. So, summer holidays are almost here. What are you most looking forward to doing during the summer holidays? And why are you looking forward to it? And what else would you like to do? So on a piece of paper, can you write yourself a list or a mind map or anything, however you want to do it? Tell me all the different things you are looking forward to doing over the summer holidays. You might set yourself a little target, a little goal maybe that you want to do over the summer holidays. So I might want to go for a walk every week, or to visit more family if I can, or to go to the seaside, or whatever it might be. Okay, so set yourself some targets of things you'd like to do over summer. You could draw some pictures if you like to make it a little bit more interesting, a bit more pretty. Okay. Hopefully you've paused and you've had a go at that task. So let's get moving on. So, things we need to remember over summer is that even though we're enjoying ourselves and it might be lovely weather, there are still hazards in summertime that we need to be aware of. Now, these things won't cause us any harm if we remember to be careful and aware of what they are. So, what is a hazard? A hazard is something that could be dangerous if you're not careful. So today we're going to talk about some of these hazards and think about what we need to do to avoid them or to be aware of them. So here are some hazards or things that might be hazards. Which ones do you think are hazards and why? So if we have a look, the main hazards on here would be talking to a stranger when you're on your own. If you don't know somebody, then you shouldn't really be talking to them. You need to make sure that your adults are aware of where you are and who you're with, just to make sure they can keep you safe. Playing in the sun without sun cream is another hazard, because that could lead to us getting sunburnt, which isn't good for our skin. Again, not good for our health. And playing in the sea on your own. So playing in the sea on your own, it can be quite dangerous because you never know if the sea's suddenly going to get a bit more rough, a bit choppier, and then you might get pulled out and get in a little bit of trouble. So make sure that if you're playing in the sea, you should be with your grown-ups. Okay, so let's get going and let's learn some of the summer safety rules. So we'll start with being safe in the sun. So it can feel nice to sunbathe, but it can be dangerous too. The sun's rays can damage your skin, and the sun's rays can burn your skin. The sun is strongest between 11 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, even on cloudy days. So, have you ever been sunburnt? Have you ever been suntanned? Which one is best? But really, neither is best because they're both your skin trying to produce its own protection from the sun. So being suntanned and sunburnt is both bad for your skin because it means that your skin has been damaged by those sun's rays. So how are these children staying safe in the sun? So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to pause the video, and as you can see, we've got lots of little plus signs here in these circles. So can you guess what these different plus signs will be about? So how are they staying safe in the sun? Okay, so let's have a look. So our first one, this child is drinking some water to stay hydrated. It's really important that we drink plenty of water when it's hot to make sure that we don't get dehydrated, which will make us feel poorly. They are staying in the shade of the tree, so they're in a nice shady area. They're not doing it in the direct sunlight, which means they've got a little bit more protection from that sun. It would be just as warm, but they've got a bit more protection. This girl is wearing a sun hat, so the boys are also wearing hats to shade their face, neck, and the top of their head. Places that can be quite tricky to put your sun cream on. Just gives you a little bit more protection. This boy is wearing sunglasses to protect his eyes, because when the sun's really bright, it can damage our eyes, it can hurt our eyes as well. So making sure you're wearing sunglasses can help to avoid that. The children are also wearing t-shirts and shorts to cover their bodies. I know when it gets warm, we all get a little bit tempted to put on our swimming costumes even. And I know sometimes boys often take off their tops. But just make sure that if you're doing that you've got plenty of sun cream on, because really we should be wearing some nice loose light clothes to keep our bodies covered and protected from the sun. And the last one, of course, is using sun cream to protect their skin. So you can see this girl is putting plenty on her face but making sure that you've got it all over your body as well to cover your arms and your legs and everything to make sure you're nice and protected. So, things to remember is you need to wrap up in a t-shirt, shorts and sunglasses. You need to splat on some sun cream every 1 to 2 hours and make sure it's at least SPF 30 to make sure you've got enough protection. And wear a hat. Wear a wide brimmed hat to make sure that your face and neck is shaded. So next one we are talking about is being safe near the water. So swimming and playing in the sea and swimming pools is fun, but it can be hazardous if you're not careful. Some sea creatures, such as jellyfish, can sting you. Now, of course, it's their natural habitat, it's where they live, so we need to be careful not to disturb them, but just be aware that some creatures will, if you are in their habitat where they live, they might get a little bit cross, or they might try and look after themselves because they might think that you're trying to hurt them. So do be careful for animals in the sea. Some water, such as the water in lakes and ponds, can be dirty. So if there's a sign saying don't swim there, it's probably for a good reason. It will be for your safety, to make sure that you're not going in water that's not clean. The water can also get very deep very quickly, and sometimes the waves can carry you too far away from the shore, which means that you might get a little bit too out of your depth and might find it too tricky to swim and get a little bit in a bit of danger there. So do you like swimming in the sea or in a swimming pool? Which one do you prefer? Have you been to the seaside? And how do you stay safe? So have a little think and write some answers down to those questions. So how are these people staying safe in the sea? Well, firstly, they're swimming near a lifeguard. So this person who works near the sea or at the beach to make sure that people are safe in the ocean. The child has a grown-up with them, so they're not swimming on their own. They're with an adult to make sure that if they get a bit stuck, the adult can help them. The sea is nice and calm. There's no huge waves, so it shouldn't catch you off guard and pull you in. And the weather looks nice and calm. It's not windy. There's no big clouds. It's a nice clear day, which makes sure the sea is nice and calm. The child has a rubber ring to help them keep afloat, so you might wear armbands or some kind of rubber ring to help keep you up. Just in case you get a bit tired, it'll help you to stay above water. And they aren't swimming too far away from shore, so they're staying nice and close to the shore. If they were really far out, again, the water gets much deeper, can get much rougher as well, so it's a little bit more dangerous. So how can we be safe near water? So never eat whilst you are swimming. It's okay to eat near the pool or outside of the pool, but not when you're in the water. Make sure that you have an adult to watch you. They may not be in the water with you, but as long as they are close by to make sure they can keep an eye on you, that's important. Wear a life jacket when you are on a boat. Use a float or armbands, or a rubber ring or something like that, just to make sure you've got a bit more support if you get a bit tired. Swim at a safe depth, so don't go too far out again. And don't swim in ponds, rivers or lakes, particularly if there's a sign there, because it'll be there for a reason, keep you safe. So, being safe around other people. So in the summer holidays, there can be a lot of people around, especially in big places such as a beach or at a theme park. People we don't know are called strangers. Strangers can be nice, but we shouldn't talk to strangers on our own in case they are not nice. So make sure that your adults know where you are and who you are with, so they can make sure that you are keeping safe. So what do you notice about this photograph? Have you ever been in a crowd like this? And where might it be that you've been? Now, I've been in a crowd like this, and I've gone to go and get an ice cream or a drink or something, and you come back and you cannot find where your stuff is, where your family is, and you have to wander around for ages. Now, if you're on your own, that would be really quite dangerous because you might get lost, and it might be really tricky for you to find your family. So make sure you're always with an adult when you're in a crowd like this. So, if you do get a bit lost from your family, there are lots of people who will help you. So some strangers have jobs, which means they are there to help you. They usually wear a uniform and a badge so that you can easily spot them. So you might find a lifeguard or someone who works on the beach to make sure people are safe in the water and on the beach, a doctor, a nurse, a police officer, or a paramedic. This is someone who usually works in an ambulance or in something like that. Can you think of any other people who might also be around to help you? Okay, so for today's task, your challenge is to think about when you go to the beach on a sunny day, you need to remember to protect yourself from the sun. So although it's always fun being out in the sunshine, we have to protect our skin, head and eyes. I'd like you to design a poster which could be displayed on the beach to remind people that they need to wear certain things and look after their skin when going to the beach. So can you design me a poster all about how to keep safe in the sun when you are at the beach? Okay, I hope you've enjoyed our tasks over the last 2 weeks. Today is our last day of home learning before the summer holidays. I look forward to seeing the work you've been doing this week, and I can't wait to see you all in September. Have a wonderful summer, stay safe and look after yourselves. Bye.